touch the stars. No, we're a universe apart. I wonder when it fell apart. Still feel the bones inside my heart. Break the moon, touch the stars. No, we're a universe apart.
How's it going? Great to have you back. If you want to watch the entire music video, I'll leave the link in the description below. Definitely recommend checking it out. I created this music video with a couple friends, and we're all part of this group called First Floor Collective. And basically we create a lot of music videos and short films. Definitely go subscribe to the First Floor Collective YouTube channel. Also, I'll leave Maya's links in the description below, and she's the artist who created the song. Super talented, and definitely recommend checking her out on Spotify and Instagram and like everything. So yeah, all the links will be in the description below. So I didn't really do much of the conceptualizing for this, as it all started back when I was still in Hong Kong. So I figured it would be a good idea to chat with Arkin and Luke, the two masterminds behind this music video. They would probably know a lot more about this than I would. So yeah, let's go.
Hello. Hello.
How are you doing, Charlie? I know you're there.
Wait, yeah, are we looking at the camera or are we looking at you?
You're looking at the camera.
Okay.
How many times did you guys listen to the song?
Too many.
Oh,
Too many.
Yeah. Too many.
We've been working on the project since March.
Yeah.
So really, like, we've just been listening to the song over and over again. It's also like a really vague song in terms of like bringing visual.
As far as the story.
Yeah. So definitely a lot of listens.
I know we had like the idea of her like going into the water, and we had a few different ideas for how we could do that. Eventually, we decided to.
Yeah, we just piece
Go
it
with what's
together.
there. Yeah.
Try to find a theme, which was definitely like reflection and thinking about your place in life in college. So kind of taking that and applying it to the visuals that we could find, and yeah.
There were a few locations that we already had an idea that we wanted to use, especially like by the water. We already knew that was definitely gonna work. But there were a few locations that we just had to spend time walking around campus or different areas, and eventually kind of locking down those areas.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Well, yeah, we pulled out of the acting, not academy, like the acting, academy. We pulled out of the acting cohort of UBC itself, and you know we have a couple connections there to like try and get people to audition, so they came through, and that worked out really well. And as for the rest of the extras, we kind of just asked our it sounds bad, but ask some of our friends and other people that we've worked with to like try and collaborate and bring like kind of a diverse image to life, because we wanted to showcase like lots of different kind of people in the video as well.
So yeah, after the whole concept was nailed, Luke created a rough storyboard just so he knew the order of the shots that he wanted, and also to communicate with the rest of the cast and crew, including myself, his exact vision. It's super important for the director to communicate exactly what he wants with the DP, just so like everything is clear, concise, cohesive, and it just makes sense to everyone on the day of the shoot too. So in terms of camera equipment, we basically just use stuff that we already own, starting off with a GVM RGB LED light, which is about $120 US if you're interested, and then also two RGB lights, which are about $60 each as well. And in terms of camera gear, we use a Sony a7 III on either a tripod or a gimbal, depending on the shot. I was a DP for this shoot, so a lot of the lighting decisions were my responsibility. But with that said, a lot of the times, or pretty much like every time, we would discuss everything as a group and try to like come up with a solution together. So yeah, because there are so many different locations in this music video, I thought I would go over 4 different locations and how we lit those 4 different locations. And I wouldn't say this is the best way of lighting, because I'm still quite a young filmmaker. I don't exactly know everything. I'm still got a lot to learn. But this is just how we lit these shots and the thought process behind it, given the equipment and the time that we had available. So firstly, let's go over the shot of Pei walking down the street, and then she stops and receives a phone call from one of her friends. So when we lit this, the important thing to think about was what aspects in frame could motivate the way we lit this scene. And since in the background of the shot, you can see multiple street lamps, which we can consider as practical lights for this shot, it would make sense to light Pei where the light is motivated from the street lamps behind her. So basically in this scenario, it's almost like we set up our own street lamp with the GVM light just out of frame, just to light Pei. One of our friends, Pradika, stood up on the side of the wall and basically just like held the light as high as he could and shined it down onto one particular area just so it would look like a street lamp, and then it would also illuminate Pei at the same time. Then we had Pei walk from the darkness in between the street lamps that were behind her into the light that we created, like our own street lamp, and just take her phone call while she was in like the light that we created. Okay, so number 2, the shot of Pei and her friends at the fire. So again, the important thing to do was to analyze what aspects in the frame could be creating light naturally and use that to light Pei. The first and most obvious in this case is the fire. So yeah, we want to create light that is consistent in terms of direction and color with the fire that is in front of Pei. So we placed one of the RGB lamps just underneath the fire facing up towards Pei. And that helped create light which was motivated by the fire and just like accentuated the light coming from the fire onto Pei's face. Then since we were outside at night, the second thing which could be used to make light is obviously the moonlight. We again used the GVM light and basically got Josh to stand as high as he could and held the GVM light like super high above his head. We really need to get like a light stand at some point. And since this is a music video, the colors don't actually have to be like 100% accurate, so we decided to go for a little bit of a bluish tint to the moonlight just because it would contrast with the fire quite well. I think it helps create a bit of separation for the characters, and it's almost like a hair light outlining each of the characters' figures. Okay, so the third shot is a shot of Pei entering the water. And there isn't too much in terms of lighting to this shot, but I thought I'd just go over it super quick. Firstly, props to Pei because we did this like 5 times and the water is freezing, so big up to Pei for just going back into it like a bunch of times. It was like really helping the film out, so yeah, thank you. So yeah, back to lighting. It's only using that little sliver of light in the sky behind Pei in the background, and I exposed the camera for that piece of light just so that it wouldn't be blown out because that would look quite bad on camera. But also it allowed us to get a little silhouette effect of Pei going into the water. So Pei is definitely underexposed quite a lot, but it adds to the drama of the shot as well, in my opinion. And lastly, let's go over this shot of the main singer, Maya, performing the song. We used this as coverage throughout the entire music video, but also to make sure that the artist of the song got into the video as well. We lit this basically using 3 lights, the first of which is a projector which casted a nice shot of a wavy beach onto Maya's face and onto the wall behind her. The second was an RGB light that Arkin was holding up, set to pink. And the third was that GVM light, which Luke was holding, set to blue. We also put a little bit of smoke into the room, but not too much where it was too noticeable, just to add a little bit of atmosphere. We chose pink and blue because they are quite vibrant colors, which evokes a lot of emotion and energy from the character on screen. Now, in color theory, people usually recommend matching complementary colors, which is basically getting 2 colors which are on the opposite side of the color wheel and putting them together. So in this case, it would have been blue and orange or pink and green, but not really blue and pink necessarily. So why in this case did it work quite well? Well, in my opinion, it's because of 2 reasons. Firstly, in society, blue and pink are usually seen as opposite colors, so putting them together creates an interesting dynamic and kind of like inspires some sort of color harmony. But also when we look at triadic colors, which is somewhat similar to complementary colors, but instead of matching it from the opposite side of the color wheel, we create a triangle and then basically creates a triad of colors that work well together. But blue and pink are on the same spectrum in terms of triadic colors, along with orange. So technically they should also work well together because of that triadic color wheel. When triadic colors are placed together, it can be interesting and also quite lively to look at. Also, the projector creates a little bit of movement on Maya's face from the waves, but not too much that it takes away from the attention of the viewer, just kind of like adds to the beauty of the shot. And we also got that feeling of waves coming in without actually seeing the waves like fully on her face, but like just because of the movement, we know that all right, this movement is from the waves. And also, like, if you connect it back to the previous shot of Pei going into the water and also her at the beach, there's like kind of a motif building about water and waves. So yeah, it's just important to add in as well. And that's it for the 4 shots. I hope you enjoyed the video, found it useful in some way. If you did, drop a comment on what your favorite shot was, leave a like, and also subscribe. Also, I'll leave the links to everything in the description below. Go check it out. Everyone's super talented, super fun people to work with. And we're definitely gonna be making much more content soon. And I'll see you soon. I'll see you very soon. Maybe sooner than you think. I don't know, maybe. But yeah. Yeah, see you later, bye.